it is our great pleasure to initiate EMI and see what we can do with English-mediated instruction, which is a little bit similar to ESP. So that is at least something that you and we can relate to our teaching, related to our expertise. So I guess without further ado, let's welcome Dr. Lau. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Ding, for that very flattering introduction, especially about my age, so thank you very much. Okay, Dr. Ding has already mentioned something about me, but I think I could expand a little bit of the introductions of myself as well. Yeah, I've been working at the University of Hong Kong for more than 10 years. I think this is my 11th years of service of Hong Kong U. Before I was the assistant professor, I was the instructor and also the lecturer. Okay, for that particular center, we used the center used to be called English Center. Okay, but after we merged into the Faculty of Arts, okay, we had to change our name to Center for Applied English Studies. So my job now, of course, focuses a lot more on research. Okay, but before that, I was heavily involved in teaching ESP, okay, English for Specific Purposes, okay, to a wide range of students. Okay, so I mostly teach students from the engineering departments. Some of the professors here come from the engineering backgrounds. Okay, so the examples that I'm going to give today to illustrate my points, some of them are related to engineering, okay, because I'm familiar with that. I can't say I know a lot about Taiwanese context, but I've been doing some research, okay, on that with my PhD course mate, okay, at Yangtze University. Recently, we published a paper. Just want to give an idea. It's just come out recently. Okay, so we looked at the English medium lectures, okay, by native English native speakers of Mandarin Chinese. Okay, how the Taiwanese teachers used English to teach students. So we look at the students' perception. So we just have got this published in the Journal of English for Academic Purposes. So if you're interested, you can look it up. I have academia.edu website with my publications on it. So I've been looking at assessment issues. I also published a paper with my colleagues in Taiwan on the role of English as lingua franca in social integrations. Okay, so if you're interested, you can just Google me. Yes, so you find that. Okay, so today, okay, I'm going to talk about English across the curriculum. You have seen the posters, and this is what I copied from the posters. And I just mentioned to the colleagues over there. Find it interesting. I have no idea what I'm going to do between 14:10 and 14:20. Okay, so we can have a longer break or an early start for the last session if we stay for the whole day. So this is what I'm going to cover today. During the morning sessions, okay, I will focus a lot more on the materials design, and then after lunch, I will talk about how we can encourage learner participation. I'm going to use a lot of examples from the work that I was involved at Hong Kong U to illustrate how we can encourage the participation. And then the last session will be on delivery, and also I'll introduce some resources that you can use to teach through the medium of English. Okay, and there can be those resources can be applied to not just for English teachers, but also for teachers in the major courses, content courses. But I think I need to make my own position very clear. Okay, I think to make English across the curriculum successful, it really requires the collaboration between the content teachers and English teachers. Okay, so they should have an equal level of confuses you. Okay? If you really want to make that successful, okay, based on my experience working with the faculty members from the engineering departments, okay, really, okay, we need to have a sort of collaboration, equal partnership. I also would like to highlight the importance of this kind of top-down directives and support. Okay, so what I mean is, okay, at the university level, okay, the senior management, they have they should set, okay, the directives very clear. A couple of months ago, there was a conference organized by the University. I'm not sure whether any of you participated in that conference. It's an ESP conference, and they invited our former Vice Chancellor, okay, on teaching and learning, Professor Amy Choi, to be the keynote speaker, and she was the one, okay, who pushed, okay, the collaborations, okay, between content teachers and English teachers, okay. She said to the faculty deans, okay, when she was the Vice Chancellor, that, okay, you must work with our center, the Center for Higher English Studies, okay. You need to allow them to help your students, okay, with their English, okay. You need to ask, okay, your the staff department, the teachers, okay, from the faculty to work with, okay, the Center for Higher English Studies. So for each department, for example, engineering departments, science departments, management departments, they need to nominate someone, okay, a faculty member to work with the English teacher from our center. Okay, so we have a counterpart, okay, in the faculty, in the different faculties. So we work together very closely. Okay, so we also have the we call it the Board of Studies meeting. So the faculty representative and also the teachers will be there, and the Vice Chancellor is the chair of that meeting. So they can talk face to face. Okay, so there's a very strong directives from the senior management to make this work. Okay, so I think I need to make it very clear. I think this is very important. Okay, if the content teachers refuse to work with the language teacher or vice versa, I don't think we can ever have any English across the curriculum. Okay, so it's very important. Okay, now let me talk about, okay, first of all, I would like you to talk, okay, to other people, okay, to the other course participants, to discuss these, okay, 3 questions. Okay, I want to get to know more about the context, okay, of Taiwan. I mean, the first question may be odd to some of you who actually teaches English, okay, but for those of you who teach in content courses, have you ever taught your courses in English? Okay, if yes, okay, you encounter any difficulties. If no, what kind of difficulties do you think you will encounter, okay, okay, as a teacher? The second question, okay, focuses a lot on your students. So what kind of difficulties, okay, do you think your students have in learning through English? And have you adopted any strategies, okay, to help your students learn through the meaning of English? So maybe I will give you 5 minutes, okay, just to talk to your friends, talk to your any new friends, okay, about these questions. So, you know. Okay. Okay, so how many of you have ever taught your courses in English? Okay. Mostly, of course, the English teachers and some content teachers. So, what kind of difficulties have you encountered in teaching the non-native speakers of English? So, what kind of difficulties?
They cannot understand you.
Okay, so would be understanding. So what other problems, difficulties?
It's also reciprocal.
Reciprocal.
We try to understand them.
You don't understand.
Sometimes you have difficulty to understand their mind.
Understand their mind, so you mean because they can't?
Well, the way that they learn and the way that we talk might be quite different.
So there's some kind of conflicts between.
I wouldn't say conflict. Might be different expectations.
Different expectations. Okay. Right. Different expectation. Okay. Okay. Any other difficulties?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, students from different culture, different country, they have really different background and the teaching in class.
Okay, so basically learn the diversity. Okay, this is a very important issue. Okay, especially in international universities, okay, we face this problem a lot in diversity. So we develop a lot of resources, okay, to foster what we call the learner autonomy. So because of the diversity, there's a huge difference, okay, between the English levels, okay, of the students. So we cannot really tailor our teaching to every single student. So we need to look for resources, okay, come up with ways to foster learner autonomy, to let them learn by themselves, okay, to find their own ways of learning. Okay. So I think we also covered the second one. If students have been learning for English, so understanding. So anyone has adopted any effective strategies, okay, or ways to help your students learn English, learn through the medium of English. So have you tried any ways?
Sometimes I just try to put down on a whiteboard, instead of just always speaking.
Yeah. Okay.
I try to
Put down what on the whiteboard?
put down what I say.
Let's say the whole sentence.
Sometimes.
Or keywords, okay, that will take up to a lot of time if you have to write everything on the board. Okay, but yeah, for me, I have to highlight some keywords, okay, on the board. Okay. Anyway, today I'm going to introduce some ways that you can use to help your students learn through the medium of English. Okay. So this is what I'm going to cover in the morning session. So let me just give a little bit of background first about English across the curriculum, some related terms. So these are all more or less the same, although they come from different traditions. They are mostly the same things. Okay, English is a medium of instruction, EMI. Okay, so we talk about this a lot. Okay, so for example, Hong Kong U is an EMI university. Content-based instruction. Okay, so heavily content-based. We teach the content for English. Okay, teaching content for English. This is also a very hot topic. Okay, students like to say hot topic. Content and language integrated learning. Okay, CLIL. So these are the terms, okay, that people often use. So we need to understand why we need EAC, why we need English across the curriculum. Because English, okay, is an internationally recognized academic lingua franca. Okay, lingua franca just means, okay, common language, common language. Okay, so a lot of the published work, the publications are in English. So it's an internationally recognized academic lingua franca. We believe, okay, that's our belief, okay, content and language cannot be separated. Okay, content and language cannot be separated. So content subjects provide context for language. Okay, but effective language development facilitates the learning of content subjects. Okay, so language, okay, so without the content means nothing. Okay, you have the content, but without the language, you cannot impart the knowledge to your students. So we have this belief, okay, there's a dovetail, this is the term we use. Basically, it means integration. Okay, so they cannot be separated, dovetailing of content and language. But I have to say, okay, people also recognize the importance of Chinese. So I'm not saying, okay, you must use, okay, EAC because there is a growing importance of Mandarin Chinese. But of course, for this session, I'm going to emphasize a lot on English across the curriculum. When we teach students, okay, as I said, we need to use language, okay, and language skills are integrated into our learning process. Okay, there are four major language skills: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. They are core to the process of language learning. So any subjects, okay, management, science, even English literature, okay, all these things, okay, will be integrated into the process of teaching and learning. So that's very important. We need to know, or we need to recognize, okay, the importance of language, okay, language skills continuously integrated, okay, and then that will facilitate knowledge acquisition. There are some common, okay, skills, okay, that would be needed, okay, for learning in any subjects and any subjects, and all these things involve the use of language, okay, language. So sourcing or locating information, you need to read things, you need to read, okay, in order to locate the information. You listen to, well, of course, the students listen to the teachers, okay, or the teachers also listen to the students. So acquiring information through listening and reading. We need to organize information, okay. We need to use our language skills to organize information. Communicate information through writing and speaking. Okay, that's very straightforward. Very important, for example, when we have to write literature review, we have to evaluate sources and apply okay, the knowledge through language. And very importantly, we write and speak for specific audience and purposes. Okay, so I'll write to my students, okay, differently, of course, from writing, okay, to my parents, for example. So, or speaking to my parents. So that will be different. So that we need to recognize, okay, we are writing and speaking for specific audience and purposes. Now, up till now, okay, I've just given you a very brief information, okay, background about English across the curriculum and why we need English across the curriculum. As I said, the first session is on materials design. So what I'm going to ask you to do is, now, you have got handouts with you. I have covered so far the first two pages. What I would like you to do is to look at these first two pages of the handout and then try to identify some strategies that I actually use to prepare the handouts, okay, for you, okay, to make it more user-friendly, okay, that will facilitate learning. Just based on what I put on the first two pages, okay. see if you can identify some of the strategies that are used, or that's something that you can use in future to help those students learn through the medium of English. Okay, so take a look at this and try to come up with some strategies. Or you can talk to your partners, your friends.
So we're friends.
Not colleagues.
Colleagues. That's us. So we need to identify the strategies. Use the point. So what I would like to do, one of the suggestions that I made is to incorporate some practical.
We are on page 2. And you look at the first 2 pages. You see what strategies that are used to make this handout more user-friendly. Maybe you have better strategies than me. Okay, drawing. Empty space. What else? Points. Just focus on the handouts. Okay, 2 more minutes.
Well,
I use to make the handout more user-friendly? Just look at the first 2 pages. So what kind of strategies have I used? To facilitate learning through English.
Leave space.
I leave space for people to write on, to brainstorm ideas, okay? On the first page.